part. I thought the other part would be the final part, but it kind of got a little lengthy because I kept losing my threads and stuff. So this is going to be the very, very final part. It's not going to take very long. It's actually quite easy. As long as you have pins. Make sure you buy pins. Because I'm running out. I don't know why I only have 4, but that's all I have right now. They do get lost. Okay. So put your thread aside really quick. Get pins. Okay, this is the top of mine. When you put it together, you're going to want to make sure that these are as even with each other as possible. Because if they're not even, it kind of looks weird and you look crooked on stage. Like it looks like it's crooked, but it actually isn't. It's actually pretty straight. So just make sure it's as even as possible. So it's going to look like that. This is your Moño so far. It's going to look a little funky in the back because it's really poofy, but once you put it against your shirt, it's going to kind of poof out towards the audience versus only in the back. You're going to start sewing in the back so nobody can see your threads. No, it would actually have been smarter if I used clear thread versus white thread, but nobody's really going to notice because I'm going to put my embroidery on it anyways, so it's going to cover it up, thankfully. So whenever you're doing hand stitching, I would recommend clear thread, just like the sewing machines. I grabbed the wrong thread. This is the one I actually did. Okay. Make sure you get all the pieces when you're stitching it together. Don't try to rush through it and try to do everything and just pull so it tightens up. It'll get really tangled like that, so do every little stitch independently. Okay, then you pull it tight. You're going to try to pull it so tight that you can hardly see the thread in the front, so that's also the good thing if you do use the colored thread, or the wrong colored thread, because you can tell how tight you're actually pulling it. And you do about 2 or 3 of these cross stitching, I don't know what these are called, I just sew. I don't actually get into the whole what stitches which. And then you do it a 3rd time, just to make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay, so everything's nice and tight. This is my sister singing on here. She's only been singing 6 months on this recording. So yeah, she did a pretty good job. She's a lot better now, of course. She's been singing longer. This recording was made probably about a year ago. Yeah, just about a year ago. They're having their next festival in 2 weeks. But of course, some of us graduated, so we can't play with the high school group anymore. That's why we made this group. But it's technically all the same members, plus or minus a few. You're going to put that, make sure you do the whole 5-6 knots or whatever to make sure it stays. Cause, oh shoot, I cut it too short. It's okay. If you do cut it too short, glue it. Nobody's going to see the back, just glue it. It'll be fixed. Don't worry about it. That's how my mariachi does it. We just improvise so we don't have to keep sewing over and over again. Just glue the end of it so it doesn't fall through. If it just come out, it's always easy to fix it. You just re-sew it, that's it. Okay, so you're gonna cut off all the extra threads that you don't want hanging off. So it looks pretty even. If you don't want to do the triangles on the end, that's fine. It's optional. My group traditionally does the triangles that you usually see on TV. But you can always differ on the different layers. Like we do 3 layers because we do the whole stripes thing, so we can see, it looks kind of cool, like stacking everything on each other. But you could always do 2 giant layers, or like 2 of these front layers and that's it. Or you could do a front layer and a back layer with the triangle, like just whatever you want. Yeah, so that's about it. Just make sure you clean it up, take off all the extra threads. It's going to be folded kind of inward at first, so what you want to do, you just push your thumb against it or whatever, and it'll fix the whole problem. You just kind of slip it under. And like I said before, if you want to do the triangles, all you do is fold it right here, put a pin, and just do a few, like 5 or 6 stitches, like in the general same area. If you want to.